Hi, my name's Maeve Mackenzie. I'm 14 years old, turning 15 this year, and I live in Aberdeen, Washington. I'd say I thought I was a normal kid like most of you, but that's not really true. I spend most of my life in therapy for general social anxiety disorder and autism. Without going into detail, being around other people scares me half to death, and it's just easier to not be around them. And of course, you could probably bet that I think therapy sucks too. Though my therapist, Dr. Han, is really nice. This whole recording myself was her idea too. She said I should keep some sort of diary of my progress to see how far I've come. I don't know how accurate that is, to be honest. When I was little, my mom and dad had to pull teeth to get me out of the house. No joke, I cried like a baby my first day of kindergarten because I didn't want to be separated from my mom. Better believe I got picked on for that. All of the other kids thought it was weird, and I kind of believed them. Sure, nowadays I can leave the house, but just talking to people still scares me. Like this time the other night, at my church's youth group, I bumped into a boy and nearly had a panic attack. I don't even remember his name. I think he was trying to be nice to me, but I couldn't even talk to him. I don't want to think about it anymore. So instead of being around people, I hang around cats. Because cats are adorable and they don't judge me. Cats are better than people for me. I just get them better. Then one day after I finished my shift at the animal shelter, that's when basically an atomic bomb got dropped on me. So, for context, I'm biking home and come across this cat that's injured. And I'm not making this up, this cat could talk. At first I thought I was going crazy, and then a monster attacked me and the cat. He pulls out a dagger and cuts me across the face. Obviously, I ran for my life. Well, somewhere down the line, stuff got even weirder. Turns out that cat wasn't a cat, I think. He was some kind of cat boy. Yes, I know how that sounds saying it out loud, but I swear to God I'm not making this up. So I'm confused again, because, again, cat boy. And then monster shows up again. I try to run again. He tosses a dagger at me, and dagger goes right through me. It just passed through me without even hurting me. And at that point, so much had been thrown my way, at least I felt like I was, having a legit panic attack. I screamed at the top of my lungs, and when it was all over, I just remember feeling scared and wanting to go home. Well, the cat boy, his name is Gavin, by the way, bumped into me, and then I got a good look at myself. My skin was pale, way paler than pale, like a ghost. My eyes were red, my hair was white, and I had pointy ears. I heard from him that I'm a changeling. I'm a fae baby that got swapped for a human one, and now I'm somewhere in between. The fae I'm descended from are banshees. I got a little curious about what banshees are, so I did some research. Banshees, to start off, are ghost-like, but not actually ghosts. Something to keep in mind, though, is that there's a lot of conflicting details on the folklore, because it comes from multiple sources, and none of them were really written down. Though there are a few things that are pretty consistent. Banshees always appear before a person's death. Basically, it means if you see a banshee, it means you're gonna die very soon. Sometimes they'll appear as an old woman just washing your clothes but covered in blood. Sometimes they'll appear more like a ghost. You'll hear their scream, and that means someone in your house is gonna be dead very soon. Like I said, an appearance from a banshee just means someone's dead. Now, here are some descriptions. Be warned, some of these are kind of weird. Banshees can look like quite a number of things, although usually it's some sort of woman. It could just be a woman wearing a shroud, or a pale woman that is in a white dress with long red hair, or even a woman with a silver dress and silver hair. Maybe a headless woman carrying a bowl of blood that's naked from the waist up, an old woman with frightening red eyes, a green dress, and long white hair, or an old woman with a veil covering her face, dressed in all black and has long gray hair. Now, where the legend of banshees come from is supposed to be a tradition in the British Isles during the 8th century where women would sing sorrowful songs to mourn the dead. These women were called keeners. In fact, a banshee scream is called a keon, which means keening. Also, keeners took their payment in alcohol. No, I'm not making that up. And were said to be sinners doomed to become banshees after death. Obviously, that part's not true, as I'm a banshee and definitely not dead. Another thing is that not all the stories about banshees depict them as being evil or spiteful. In fact, in some stories, a banshee is the spirit of a deceased family member who still has strong ties to her family and keeps watch over them out of love. Instead of screaming, they sing a sorrowful song that is filled with concern and love for their families. Now, the evil ones, the ones that most people are familiar with, had reason to hate their families and come back to torment them with their screams. Their scream can chill you to the bone. In some stories, an evil banshee will take pleasure in torturing you by ripping you to shreds or screaming until you go insane and commit suicide. There are some other interesting things that I found out about. For example, supposedly banshees only served 5 Celtic noble families: the O'Neills, the O'Briens, the O'Connors, the O'Gradys, and the Kavanaghs. Multiple banshees being sighted at once meant the death of an important leader. In fact, banshee lore across the British Isles was so widespread that even King James I of Scotland reported encountering one. So yeah, that's what I learned about banshees doing the research on my own. Though, given the fact I am a banshee, I can tell you some of it's right and some of it isn't. I honestly would like to know where some of this lore came from. I can definitely do the scream, and I can tell you firsthand, it will paralyze you with fear if you hear it. I can also kinda turn invisible, but only if I have shadows or darkness surrounding me. I can also phase through solid objects. That's kind of about it. More than anything, though, I really want to find out if there's really other banshees out there. Maybe I can find out where I came from and get some answers about myself. Maybe even find out where I really belong. 'Cause honestly, I've had this thought going through my head constantly since I met Gavin. If I'm not even my parents' real daughter, then do I even belong here? Hopefully I can find out. I think I've said everything I want to say right now. Who knows? Maybe this will become a regular thing.